Hey there, and welcome to the Explainer. So let's talk about Claude. Have you ever used it and just felt underwhelmed? You get a result that's just meh. Well, if that's you, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to go way beyond the usual tips and really dig into what makes Claude different and how you can turn your simple prompts into these incredible blueprints for amazing, amazing results. Okay, so we've all done this, right? You fire up the AI, you type in something super simple, super direct, and you're just hoping for this flash of brilliance. But yeah, what you get back is often not that. What you get is this totally bland, generic response. It feels like a high school essay that barely scraped a C+. I mean, sure, it's technically correct, but there's no soul, no personality. It's just useless, right? You're definitely not going to publish that. So, if this all sounds painfully familiar, listen up. You're not alone. And here's the kicker. It's not Claude's fault. It's the prompt. We've basically been speaking the wrong language to it. But the good news is, learning the right way to talk to Claude, it's way easier than you think. Okay, so this is the first really big shift you need to make. You just can't use your old chat GPT prompts and expect them to work here. It's a non-starter. Claude is built totally differently. It rewards a whole different way of talking to it, and that's the key to unlocking its best work. Think about it like this. Some AIs are sprinters. They're built for quick, short answers. Claude, it's a marathon runner. It's an engine designed specifically for deep, detailed, long-form content. We're talking about something that can keep its train of thought going for thousands and thousands of words without losing the plot. And its single biggest superpower? It's this number right here. A massive 200,000 token context window. Now, don't worry too much about what a token is. Think of it as a piece of a word. What matters is what that number means. It means Claude can hold about 150,000 words of information in its short-term memory. You can literally give it an entire novel, and it will remember what happened on page 1 when it's writing about the final chapter. That's insane. And just look at this comparison. Claude's context window absolutely dwarfs even other really powerful models. But look, this isn't just about bragging rights with a bigger number. This is a total game changer. It means you can throw enormous documents at it. We're talking dense financial reports, complicated legal contracts, you name it. And it can analyze and understand them in a way that other AIs just can't. And all that space leads to the second huge difference. It's writing style. Claude just naturally writes more. It's more verbose, more detailed. So while other models are trying to be short and sweet, Claude is trying to be thorough and complete. And you have to realize, for the kind of work we're talking about, work that needs real depth, that's not a bug. It's its best feature. Okay, so we get it. Claude is built for depth. It's built for detail. The big question is, how do we actually use that? Well, it all comes down to a toolkit of 5 specific techniques that are designed to play right into its strengths. All right, here they are. These are the 5 pillars, and I want you to think of these less as friendly tips and more as direct commands. You're basically tapping right into how the model is built to guarantee you get a great result every time. First up, we have got to stop asking it for simple summaries. That's just a total waste of that giant context window. Instead of asking it to shrink a document down, make it analyze it. So don't say, summarize this. Say something like, analyze this article and give me these 4 things: the key findings, the most important data points, any limitations you see, and where the research could go next. The insights you'll get back are going to be so much richer. Okay, number 2 is an absolute game changer. Claude loves structure. Giving it a vague prompt like write a marketing plan is like telling a contractor, build me a house, and then walking away. You might get a house, but it's not going to be the one you wanted. Instead, you need to hand it a detailed blueprint. I'm talking exact section headers, subheadings, even the bullet points you want it to cover. Give it that structure and it will build it for you with incredible precision. Technique number 3, be a director. Don't ever leave the style and tone up to chance, especially for creative or professional stuff. Be explicit. Tell it exactly what you want. I want the tone to be thoughtful and introspective. Make the pacing slow and character-driven. Claude is amazing at taking on a specific voice and, more importantly, staying in that voice for pages and pages. Number 4 is about asking better questions. So instead of a simple question like, is remote work better, turn Claude into a consultant. Ask it to analyze the question through different lenses. Analyze the pros and cons of remote work from the perspective of productivity, then from employee well-being, and finally from an economic impact standpoint. This forces it to give you a much smarter, more nuanced answer that looks at the whole picture.
Okay, so once you start getting the hang of these techniques, it's not just about writing better prompts anymore. It becomes about strategy. It helps you figure out when is Claude the absolute best tool for the job, and, just as importantly, when it's not.
So here's a really simple rule of thumb. If your job requires depth, writing long articles, analyzing a huge document, creative writing, Claude's going to be your best friend. But if you just need a super quick fact or you're doing some really complex specific coding, another AI might actually be a better fit. It's about choosing the right tool for the job.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the what and the why. Let's put it all together. Let's build a simple, repeatable blueprint you can use to construct a perfect, expert-level prompt every single time. Here it is, your 5-step checklist for getting amazing results every single time. Step 1, give it a role. Tell it who to be, an expert marketer, a thoughtful historian. 2, give it structure. That's your blueprint, your section headers. 3, specify the style and tone. You're the director, remember. 4, add examples and context. Give it the background info it needs to succeed. And finally, 5, set the length. Tell it how long you want the output to be. If you do these 5 things, you stop hoping for a good result and you start engineering one.
So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. You need to stop thinking like someone just asking a question. You need to start thinking like an architect. With Claude, you're not just yelling a request into the wind. You're carefully designing a detailed blueprint, and then you're handing that blueprint to a master builder who will create exactly what you envisioned.
And that, right there, is why this all matters so much. Learning this stuff isn't about getting slightly better blog posts. It fundamentally changes the level of work you can do with AI. It turns Claude from just a simple tool into a real creative partner. So the only question left is, now that you have the toolkit, how are you going to rebuild your prompts?